Tonight, a Facebook marketplace sale gone terribly wrong.
I didn't think that he could have a knife with him.
He stepped in when he saw a man being robbed and attacked and then was stabbed. Why, he says he'd do it again. Moscow strikes back after a deadly attack on Russian soil.
Putin is responsible for the senseless and unnecessary loss of life.
Why the air war is heating up now. Our favorite interviews of 2023 from Shania Twain.
And I wanted to record again, but where to start?
To Raptors GM Masai Ujiri.
I thought I blundered and made the mistake of my life.
We revisit the moments that changed everything.
I think back to those kind of moments now that he's gone.
And the moments you didn't see.
Come on!
This is The National with Ian Hanomansing.
We begin tonight with a first-hand account of what Vancouver police call an act of extreme courage, a split-second decision to help a stranger in trouble. Miraj Ahmed is one of two food delivery workers who heard a cry for help on Tuesday. They confronted the suspect. Both were stabbed. Yvette Bren spoke to him about what happened and has the police warning for anyone buying or selling online.
It was Boxing Day and getting dark right here in Olympic Village when Miraj Ahmed heard shouting, saw a stranger getting pepper sprayed and chased the attacker.
I was just trying to stop him from escaping him. Yeah, so I didn't think that he could have a knife with him. Yeah, so it was unfortunate for me. There was a cut here and here.
The suspect stabbed him and another food delivery worker as they struggled to chase down and hold him for police. The tendon in Ahmed's left hand severed.
It was a horrible feeling for me. I was like, I didn't know that what I will do now.
This was a Facebook marketplace meetup that went horribly wrong.
The suspect allegedly met to buy a computer graphics card but attacked instead of paying. Police thanked bystanders who jumped in to help.
Without their brave actions, without their decisive actions, this suspect would almost certainly have gotten away.
More than 1 billion people worldwide use Facebook Marketplace every month, according to Meta. And police say some are scammed, robbed, or in some cases, attacked.
It's a very concerning trend that we're seeing. People need to be aware of the risks that are inherent when they're meeting up with somebody that they don't know.
And the most important thing that we should believe our instinct. If something feels up that it's bad, we should immediately decline that transaction.
Ahmed, who moved here to do an MBA, misses his family back in Bangladesh and has no regrets.
Me and the other guy was the only persons there to help him, so it was not easy for me to leave him alone there, so I need to help him.
He says he wouldn't hesitate to help someone in trouble again.
And Yvette, there are a lot of people selling things on Marketplace and other online sites. What advice do police have?
Well, they say, one of the things you can do is do your exchanges somewhere public. Go to a mall, go to a food court. They even offer a safe exchange place right in front of the Vancouver Police Department. And they say, go to any police department in any city to do your exchanges. That way you have witnesses, you have cameras, you have a relative modicum of safety, and you can do your exchange in peace.
Yvette Brand reporting from our Vancouver newsroom. To Europe now, where both Russia and Ukraine are accusing the other of the first attacks of 2024. As Tanya Fletcher explains, it comes after a weekend of intense bombardment as both sides step up fighting with drones, missiles, and artillery.
A carpet of broken glass fills this hotel room, every window blown out. This scene of destruction in Ukraine's northeastern city of Kharkiv. Officials there say Russia pounded the city with at least 6 missiles Saturday night, injuring some 30 people, including 2 teens, and hollowing out shops, restaurants, apartment buildings, and medical facilities. This is our New Year's, cries this woman who was injured in the attack. It's the latest in a surge of missile and drone strikes over the past few days, Russia launching the largest aerial bombardment of the war on Friday. Ukraine then hitting back with this. Attacks on the Russian city of Belgorod. Here, residents laid flowers at a memorial in honor of the 24 killed. This is a very sad day, says this man. I knew some of the victims. That spurred Moscow to call an emergency meeting of the UN Security Council, saying it amounted to a terrorist attack. But there was little sympathy for Russia.
Putin is responsible for the senseless and unnecessary loss of life. This is his war.
A war the Russian president barely mentioned in his New Year's speech, except to hail his soldiers as heroes. Ukraine's president with a New Year's message of his own, saying few believed we'd make it through 2022, let alone standing through 2023. And today we're facing 2024. Ukraine lives.
Ukraine is fighting not only with one hand tied behind its back, but also with its back to the wall. There is nowhere to go from here.
Some experts say Russia is trying to capitalize on wavering international support for Ukraine.
There's a big gap to be filled, and there are few signs that Europe as a whole is taking much of an interest in defending itself. That's where the crisis lies. It needs somebody else to step up and replace the United States because that aid is now under threat.
Tanya, there's a little sign of progress in Washington on sending more aid to Ukraine.
That's right. Upwards of $60 billion in aid for Ukraine is still tied up in Congress. Republicans have so far tied that money to border security, given the migration surge in the South. Now, Congress is still on its holiday break, but Senate negotiators have been meeting over the past week or so, yet still reportedly no sign of an imminent deal. And that's important because aid from the U.S. has essentially run out. The last military aid package was sent to Ukraine last week, and President Biden used these most recent attacks by Russia to pressure lawmakers, saying Congress must take urgent action in the new year, adding we cannot let Ukraine down. Ian?
Tanya Fletcher reporting from Washington. While the war in Ukraine is approaching the 2-year mark, the Israel-Hamas war hasn't even reached 3 months, and already the region begins 2024 with deep traumas. Israeli television aired the accounts of a brother and sister taken by Hamas during its October 7th attack. The details chilling.
אבא פשוט איזה מחבל שנעמד עליי, ועם הקנה, שם לי את הקנה בתוך הראש. אתה פשוט מחכה לקבל את הכדור שלך ולסיים עם זה. וכאילו באיזשהו מקום השלמתי עם זה, שאני לא הולך לחיות.
Families, friends, and supporters of the roughly 100 hostages who remain in Gaza hold out hope for the new year.
My big wishes is to bring back all the hostages.
Gaza itself in 2023 has suffered one of the most devastating bombing campaigns in history. Israel's airstrikes killing 1% of the entire population. Hundreds of thousands now facing starvation, according to the UN. New Year's wishes there tinged with tragedy. We just want to stop hearing the sounds of planes and drones, for children to stop being afraid, she says. From this 12-year-old girl, I hope in 2024 that everything is fixed and for life to go back to normal. A house explosion in rural Michigan has left 4 people dead and sent 2 to hospital.
I went face down on the ground and covered the back of my head, and the whole house shook.
This is all that remains of his neighbor's home. The explosion could be heard more than a dozen kilometers away and sent debris flying across the road. Investigators have not yet determined the cause. An extra 2,800 police were patrolling Berlin tonight, officials taking no chances 1 year after widespread riots shook the country. Tensions have only increased since war broke out between Israel and Hamas. In Cologne, police kept careful watch over the city's famous cathedral after intelligence reports of a possible attack. There is a growing demand for our phones and watches to track our health. From heart rate to step counts, we can monitor more things than ever before. But Christine Burak discovers that all that information isn't necessarily making us better.
It seems there's an app now for everything.
There really is this growing obsession with monitoring all aspects of your life, from your poop, your microbiome, to your sleep.
He's not kidding. You can check out your heart rate, body temperature, even analyze your personal gas emissions. But how useful is all this data?
And the idea is, I think, that more data is better and that it's empowering, but there's no evidence it's making us any healthier.
He says a big push for metrics routinely comes from wellness doctors selling books and anti-aging products and talk radio.
This is the kind of stuff that really tells you about your metabolic health. There's no way to lie with a continuous glucose monitor.
Continuous glucose monitors, or CGMs, are life-saving devices for people with diabetes.
Click this in.
But we wanted to know, can they really benefit everyone?
I'm gonna put the sensor on. 3, 2, 1.
The device tracks glucose levels, a type of sugar in your body.
And now I'm going to have a bit of juice, and I'm going to eat something so we can see what it does to my glucose.
Certain foods break down into glucose, which feeds and fuels our cells. But first, our pancreas needs to produce a hormone called insulin. It works like a key that opens our cells to let glucose in. For those with diabetes, the pancreas doesn't make enough insulin, or their cells don't react to it.
If blood glucose levels run too high, that can cause wear and tear on the body. But if blood glucose levels drop too low, the brain stops working and people can lose consciousness.
Doctors say based on these readings, people with diabetes can take insulin or make changes to manage glucose levels. As for people without the disease,
we don't really know what normal is because we've really applied this to people with diabetes. And so we know what diabetes looks like, but we don't have a lot of data that tells us what normal is.
An hour later, we asked a dietitian what my glucose readings indicate.
It's a normal physiological reaction for glucose to rise after we eat carbohydrates. It's not a bad thing.
She adds, all these metrics aren't completely harmless. They can create anxiety and fears.
If I use a glucose monitor and I'm not diabetic and I see that my glucose goes up higher when I eat an apple than when I eat raspberries, am I going to therefore be afraid to eat an apple? We're dealing with...
She says proven health hacks include eating more plant-based foods and doing exercises you enjoy. Christine Burak, CBC News, Toronto.
In Quebec, the new year brings a new challenge for parents and teachers. They need to help students from across the province make up for weeks of lost class time because of a strike. Quabina Oduro shows us what they're up against.
Fifth grader Nathan Saint Laurent Radu says he misses being at school.
My friend, the teacher, what do we learn?
Nathan is one of 360,000 students who missed more than a month of school due to the teacher strike.
Support is lacking for families.
His mother worries about his development.
We're just starting to get over the bump of managing his dyslexia, and now we're going to be going down again, and you know, there's a cost to it all. There's a cost to it all.
About 66,000 teachers will vote in the new year on a tentative deal that's expected to officially end the strike.
I let out a huge sigh of relief, maybe even tears. I was very happy.
English teacher Ruben Ramsey started his career in September. He says getting back into the classroom won't be easy.
My question now is, do we stop what we were reading? Do we extend it more? Do we have to go back and review things? Is that good pedagogy to have them evaluated on things that we looked at a month ago?
Quebec's education minister has already said the ministry exams in January will be postponed.
I would love to see...
But this education professor says the government should consider canceling the exams.
I think that, especially given the pandemic in the previous years, the teachers are still in the middle of catching up from that. We've seen significant lags in students from the sort of 2 years of online learning.
Nathalie Saint Laurent agrees. That's why she's paying for private tutoring.
We were doing one because at the beginning of the year things were going well. So we went up to 2 when the strike happened, and now we're going to go up to 3.
Nathan is eager to return to the classroom.
I like math, like the numbers, because you can count like with your fingers.
School staff and parents have many unanswered questions. Will the school year be extended? Will there be extra classroom support for students? And most importantly, when will kids be back in class? Quabina Oduro, CBC News, Montreal.
It is already 2024 in much of the world. Australia among the first to ring in the new year. Sydney welcomed it with lots of gold and silver fireworks, the color scheme marking the 50th anniversary of the city's famed opera house. In Tokyo, the celebration more subdued with the midnight release of hundreds of lanterns, each symbolizing a wish for the new year. And in Paris, the Champs-Élysées was jammed with spectators as fireworks rained over the Arc de Triomphe. New Year's Day will signal a new start for women's hockey. When Toronto faces off against New York on Monday, it will launch the Professional Women's Hockey League. And as Caroline Bargood explains, it's a game that comes with great expectations.
It's the last big tune-up before hitting the ice to make history. A dream 5 years in the making since the Canadian Women's Hockey League shuttered in 2019.
Everybody on our roster has been waiting for this moment for such a long time that I think we're all ready to just take it in and cherish it and hit the ice and show every team in the league what we're all about.
Blair Turnbull is the captain of Toronto's team, which still doesn't have a name or logo. This league is so new. That doesn't matter to this fan.
They look really powerful and strong. And I think it's really cool that they can play hockey too.
The PWHL was created with an 8-year collective bargaining agreement. The players have a union and benefits like a housing stipend and maternity leave. On average, players will be paid around $55,000 American, but it's the love of the game that gets them on the ice.
I think it's really important for, not only our generation, but all the little girls that will come after us and all the women that came before us that, forged this huge path that, we were able to come on to ourselves. And so I think, like you said, it's really historic. It's really exciting.
Every single one of these seats in this arena will be sold out for all 12 Toronto home games. In Montreal, they've almost sold out all their home games too.
And on January 2nd, Ottawa is expected to break the attendance record for a North American professional women's hockey game. CBC Sports' Anastasia Busis says this could be the start of something great for all women's sports.
I'm really excited to see what this league does for the infrastructure around sport and specifically women's sport in this country. I think Canada does a lot of really good things when it comes to sport. We are lagging a little bit in the support of women, and the PWHL is hopefully ushering in a new era.
She says she'd like to see professional leagues for women's soccer and basketball. The hope? What happens on this ice New Year's Day is just the start. Caroline Bargood, CBC News, Toronto.
And coverage of the season opener begins at noon Eastern on CBC Television and CBC Gem. That's 1:30 in Newfoundland. The Queen of Denmark is abdicating her throne.
Mørkeste tid på året lyser julen op.
Margrethe II made the surprise announcement during her traditional New Year's Eve address. Her 52-year reign will end in 2 weeks, making way for Crown Prince Frederick to ascend to the throne. When Britain's Queen Elizabeth died last year, Margrethe became Europe's longest-serving monarch. She says her extensive back surgery this year got her thinking about succession. A Canadian codebreaker is helping solve a century-old mystery.
I end up looking through about 170 code books.
What we've learned and the burning questions that remain unanswered.
Not knowing why this woman had a bunch of secret codes in this pocket.
Plus, the moments that changed everything for these notable Canadians.
Jimmy Page didn't walk on stage, he floated on stage.
When I finally managed to get that back, I wanted to sing again.
The events that helped shape their success. And the emergence of an iceberg like no other.
I've personally never seen anything like it.
The countdown to this year's top moments continues. We're back in 2. A Canadian has helped solve a 135-year-old mystery that stumped experts for years. An unusual cryptogram was found inside an old dress. It became one of the world's top unsolved messages after countless experts failed to decipher what it says. Cameron McIntosh learns how the code was finally broken.
So there are 12 lines on each sheet.
Seemingly random strings of words, a mysterious 135-year-old message, discovered in a secret pocket of a dress.
Bismarck, omit.
Leafage.
Leafage.
Buck Bank.
Buck Bank.
Yeah.
So it makes no sense.
Exactly.
The so-called silk dress cryptogram stumped the global crypto analysis community for a decade. Coded references to a handful of American and Canadian cities, codebreaker Wayne Chan was drawn to the speculation over what it was.
Civil War, some kind of secret messages between, people. Yeah, there are a lot of theories.
And then here's the pocket.
Sarah Rivers Cofield discovered the message in a secret pocket when she bought this antique dress in 2013. Mystified, she posted it to her blog.
The code cracking community picked up on it pretty quickly, and somebody said, oh, well, that's a telegraph code.
When you're looking at this initially, you're thinking this may be a telegraph code.
Right, exactly.
The dress pointed to the 1880s, an era where thousands of telegraph codes were being used daily to keep messages short and secure.
I end up looking through about 170 code books, and I end up not finding anything that matched this.
When his research found similarities to telegraph weather transmissions, he called the U.S. National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration.
Turns out to be this, the U.S. Army Signal Service weather code.
The cryptogram's secret, daily weather observations from May 27th, 1888, from stations across the U.S. and into Canada.
It just happens that there's a transmission from Winnipeg.
Exactly. It's quite a remarkable coincidence.
Turns out it was a cold spring day in Winnipeg. Still, Chan has questions.
My best guess is that it was a woman working for the Signal Service office in Washington.
Does anything still bug you about this?
Not knowing why this woman had a bunch of secret codes in this pocket.
Part of the mystery he's still hoping to crack. Cameron McIntosh, CBC News, Winnipeg.
This is the time of year when a lot of people make resolutions, things that they want to change. But often in people's lives, those life-changing moments are things they have no control over. Over the last year, we talked to a lot of fascinating people, and here are some of their recollections of the moments that changed everything. The teenage Geddy Lee saw Led Zeppelin in this space.
Right there.
I mean, that's
Second row.
incredible to imagine that you, first of all, were here watching one of the greatest, bands at the time and of all time. What kind of impact did that have on you?
Oh, that had a tremendous impact. I can say, in all honesty, that for me and Alex Lifeson, my BFF and my partner in crime for a million years, and also for John Rutsey, who was our drummer at the time, it was a life-changing experience. We sat there in the second row, and Jimmy Page didn't walk on stage, he floated on stage. I'm sure there was a cloud under his feet. And it was such a profoundly intense rock experience. And the rafters were literally shaking, and plaster was literally falling off the ceiling. They really brought the house down. And it was a kind of rock music that we had never really heard or felt in that way. And we went back home as three aspiring young goofs trying to be musicians, and we wanted to be like that. So it changed our whole attitude on how we looked at rock music. It really was that profound.
Your partnership, your marriage to Mutt Lange ended. It was also a musical partnership.
Yeah.
And this is something a lot of people have gone through in lots of different ways. What impact did it have on you?
Well, it was a global impact because obviously it was a marriage and it was a very isolated music collaboration because it was really just the two of us. There was no other influx of creatives involved. So I still wanted to make music. Well, first my voice went with the Lyme's disease. When I finally managed to get that back, I wanted to sing again. I wanted to record again, but where to start? I hadn't collaborated with anyone else. So I was really starting from scratch, and I had to have a lot of faith in my own independent, creative self.
So here we are in the Ironwood Stage and Grill, the old Gary Theatre. Your first time here for a long time. What memories does it bring back?
I remember walking in here when it was the Loose Moose Theatre, and in total there were about 6 or 7 of us. and like most of us were Asian, and the Loose Moose had never seen so many Asian kids show up to take improv classes, so they called this the Asian invasion. And I spent so much time here, and then the theater closed. It was a really sad day, and I haven't come in here since because it hurt too much. So it's pretty surreal to be back in here.
You loved improv, but improv is tough. Like I'm just watching it. There's some cringe-worthy moments. Did you have any fails up on stage?
I could talk about fails for hours. So many fails. Probably the first 4 years of improv was all failing. And really that's what improv taught me. Improvisation taught me to fail. Because when I started improvising, I was trying to be really good and trying to be funny. And by doing that, I was not good and not funny. But here, I remember my first failure. My artistic director, Dennis Cahill, said after the show, well, that wasn't a good show. He said it. He was very blunt. He still is. And he said, well, you get to come back next week and try again. That was everything that I could fail and come back and try again.
In our interview series, we focus on Canadians who have achieved excellence in their field, and we also look for moments that changed everything for that person. And I'm just curious, is there a moment in your career that you would identify as, that's the moment that changed everything?
Yeah, my father dying. I felt pretty intense hatred and anger, and I felt like a darkness, and I played with a lot of, I played with an edge, with an anger, with a not a good space for a stretch of time. I was mourning the loss of my father, depressed. I was not feeling very much in life. I got help. I started seeing a therapist. And I felt like when it was all said and done, when I came out of that mourning, that stretch of time, with the help of the therapist and with the experience of becoming a different person, I felt like I was in a much better place in my life. And it just so happened that it ended up but it ended up making me a much better version of myself as an athlete, as a baseball player.
You went to university in Guelph.
Yeah.
And there was an assignment where you were to write something that I guess really spoke to you, something that was very important. And so, as I understand it, the play was posing a question that you would like to put to your mother, like, am I good enough? How important was that experience, writing that play, for you?
It poured out of me, and it was something that, I imagine my body was wanting to explore artistically for a while, and I just needed the permission. Like, I needed that assignment, otherwise I'd probably be too scared to kind of do it on my own. And it was important at the time that I got to ask these questions about goodness, about the intersections of faith and sexuality and queerness and brownness, and let it be an artistic thing, like there's ways to work things out in our personal lives through art, and it was like a really essential experience artistically for me.
A year and a half ago, we learned that you had cancer. I think you know this, right across the country, people were really moved by that. In Vancouver, I was getting, I have no connection to you, obviously, directly, but people were sending me text messages saying, have you heard the news? Like, a lot of us were saddened by that. How was it for you, those months of being away and treatment?
Nobody wants to hear those words, obviously, and as an athlete, we all think we're 10 foot tall and bulletproof, and when you hear that, it kind of takes you back. But I have a phenomenal wife. We've been married for 48 years, and as soon as we heard that, she said, we got this. And the response I got from the people in Canada and in North America in general was incredible. And it helped get me through the treatment. It helped me understand that maybe I can help somebody else get through this treatment. But I knew we would get through it. And I knew that in the end I would be able to come back. The doctor told me, he said, you'll probably miss the rest of the season with this treatment. It'll probably take you that long to get back. I said, no, I won't. I won't miss the rest of the season.
July 26th, 2022, you came back here.
Back in the broadcast booth, Buck Martinez.
And I'm sure for the people who were in the seats, certainly for those of us who have watched the video, it was a very moving time. What was it like for you?
It was incredible. When the day comes that I retire, I won't need a send-off. I've already had that. It was wonderful. And my son Casey and his family, Jennifer and the 3 girls were here to share that moment with me. It was incredible. And I didn't know they were going to stop the game. I didn't know anything about that. But when the players came out on the field, that was pretty special. It makes you understand that you might be doing things right. And it just goes back to the first day I came to Canada when I thought, I'll be here for a year. And here we are many, many years later, and the country has embraced me. They have allowed me to bring the baseball game into their homes. And when I came back, that was like, okay, I guess we did it right.
We have more highlights from our Sunday interviews coming up, including a defining moment for Masai Ujiri.
So for $50,000, you walk away. And I said, yes.
Why he risked it all as his career was just taking off. Let's return to our look back at some of the highlights of our Sunday interviews and the moments that changed everything. Tell me about the moment, the person who made you realize that you could, as a young woman, actually be a singer.
I had a friend who really believed in my abilities to sing. I was a teenager, and I was like, yeah, whatever, I guess. You know, I was more, And she said, okay, sing it. Just sit and just sing that song. I'm like, okay. Just, you're so amazing. And then we got the album of Susan Agluka, the cassette.
Came from the Keewatin, where half the year is night.
And I'm like, what? Like, you can do that? It's like a lightning hit me.
Wow.
I had to like sit down and I'm like, okay, the news is you can be an Inuk girl and make an album and produce something like that.
So as a producer, you've worked on a lot of big albums, including what turned out to be Metallica's greatest selling album. Tell me about that.
You know, when you make a record, you really don't know how it's going to turn out. I think what made it different for me is that they were very opinionated, and it was really hard to do the record, but they challenged me, and I challenged them, and I think we ended up that it wasn't all just happy. We were not fighting, but there was just that edge through the whole project. That ended up being something special. And the thing about the that Metallica album in particular, was James started singing rather than yelling. And he was, I think it's his most personal lyric, any record he's made.
And you guys became, like, not only colleagues, but friends, right?
Eventually, it took a while.
Yeah.
Yeah, it took a while. I had to prove myself constantly in that album.
I need to ask you about Corner Gas, even though you've been asked every question over the years, but it's such an incredibly popular show in its day, still beloved by so many people. And so as you look back, is there a moment in that program that we can look up on YouTube or something about that program that remains your favorite moment?
No, not a single moment.
There wasn't a single moment I liked.
No, there was not a single moment of that show. I'm unfamiliar with the program, really. I've heard talk of it. The thing that sticks out to me was an off-camera moment. And it's when we did our first table read with the cast. We cast this group of actors. They were all individually great. We sat around the table. We were happy with the scripts, but it's a broth. You don't know if it's going to taste good. And we did that first read through, hearing the voices from these actors, breathing life into these characters that were on the pages. And when we were done, we were like, we might really have something here. That really felt, it felt like these people had been together for 14, 15 years.
Wow.
And that's when we all kind of went, this could be something.
There is a story that people in basketball know about how when you were offered a general manager's job with Denver, I mean that that's a sign of success. You would have, you'll make it if you get that job. That you insisted on $50,000 for basketball camps in Africa, and the original answer was no. I mean, were you really willing to risk that job over that $50,000?
Yes. I'm thinking to myself, okay, I'm going to be the general manager of this team. Why is it not possible for me to have this, like to go give back? It has to be part of the package for me. I have to help this youth in some kind of way, like that's the leverage of this job, I think.
Wow.
And I'll never forget his voice. He said to me, so for $50,000, you walk away from being the vice president of the Denver Nuggets. And I said, yes, I'd walk away. And he said, okay. And he put the phone down.
And what are you thinking at that moment?
I thought I had blundered and made the mistake of my life, like you're trembling in you. And 5 minutes later, he called back.
And you got the $50,000 for the camps?
No question.
Your favorite directing moment on 90210?
My favorite directing moment?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. Okay. My favorite directing moment in Luke Perry's last episode that he ever did. Luke, falling to his knees in the rain. So we had rain towers everywhere, and Luke was falling to his knees, looking up in the heavens and crying, no, and I had the camera on a crane pulling away from him in the rain, and Luke and I were just having the best time shooting all that stuff, and I think back to those kind of moments now that he's gone.
You must miss him a lot. There were some poignant moments over the course of the year, but also time for laughter. The lighter side of the Sunday interview is next. Doing these Sunday interviews, I've learned a lot about perseverance and talent and hard work. But we've also managed to have some fun. So we are backstage at 22 Minutes with Mark Critch, and this is just an average day in your life.
Yeah, every day we have to wig out a little bit, and they put out people, and you find a character. Like here we have, in honor of CBC, Rex Murphy. Once again, the Canadian Broadcasting Corporation, the socialist mouthpiece. I quit. We have that. We have King Charles. Get him on. And, I'm worried, Ian, that when I'm on the stamps, you lick the wrong side. Paul McCartney. I love the way Ian Hanomansing, And of course, we have Donald Trump.
Okay, brace yourself.
Which is a great thing here. You disgusting fake news, a terrible liar, disgusting person. It's fake news. Everything that comes out of his Canadian mouth is alive. It really is. So you can be anyone you want. Would you like to try?
No, definitely not. Definitely not.
Sure.
I don't even want to.
Come to me, Ian. Let me take you. Yeah.
Excellent.
This is the win.
Okay, welcome to the Duvernay Tardif Aging Anchor Challenge. I asked Laurent to show me a weight that you do reps with, right? This is you actually exercise.
That's second warm-up. We're slowly building.
This is your warm-up. How much weight is here?
That's 315.
And how many sets do you do?
Let's go for 10.
Okay, so if I can do one, I win this challenge. If I lose, I don't know, I'll wear a McGill shirt on the radio.
On the air? Oh, radio? Radio doesn't count.
It's a simulcast, radio and television.
Okay, gotcha. Okay, you got this. Don't hurt yourself, bro.
Okay, so I need to do, how many of these, you show me do one.
I recommend you go with the alternated grip. Keep your back straight. Push up.
Okay. I'll try not to drop the weights. Okay, here we go. Okay, that'll be good. And then
second try.
Okay, second try. I'm not going to be able to do this. Okay, here we go.
Come on!
That's great. You know, we don't talk to scientists very much on a national newscast, so it's a nice opportunity to do that. I want to play a clip that we gathered from your academic past, so just listen to this.
Oh, Michelle, congratulations from all of us back at the West. We're so proud of what you have accomplished and the things that you are doing now and will be doing, and keep going. And that'll give us lots more to watch and be interested in.
So that's a science teacher. I think he taught you in grade 9 and grade 12, John Cordukes. What is your reaction listening to that?
That was the most beautiful surprise. I'm trying not to tear up. You know, growing up in small town, Southern Ontario, there wasn't really an obvious pathway for me to go from just north of Cobourg, Ontario, to working at NASA and working on these missions. And it was because of incredible mentors like that who really encouraged me and really had the confidence in me that I could do something like that helped me forge this pathway. So that is so wonderful to hear, and try and keep my emotions in check.
Are you ready for the trademark choir warm-up?
This is what you always do?
Every single time.
All right.
It's a call and response. David's going to give you a note. I'm going to count you in. Never sing when David is singing. He doesn't like that. Okay? You ready?
Yeah.
You can move a little bit. Okay? Just show me your moves. Come on, just loosen up, Ian. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, go. Super great. 1, 2, 3. See, that's how you. There it is. Look at that. You're ready to go. You're ready to go on tour.
They're great. I'm awkward. Listen, we've got some great interviews, 2 already done for the Sunday National, and lots of others that are scheduled. I hope you continue to watch, and you can find any of those complete interviews. Go to YouTube, put my name in, and the name of the person we talked to, and it's right there for you. Coming up, the unique iceberg that took the #2 spot in this year's Top Moments.
It appears to replicate certain body parts.
The natural occurrence that got national attention. Next. As we wrap up 2023, we're counting down our 12 favorite moments of the year. Tonight at #2, the iceberg that resulted in endless innuendo.
It's a Dickie Berg.
It definitely looks like what people are saying, almost a little bit too graphic.
I've personally never seen anything like it. From the right angle, it appears to replicate certain body parts. from a male. I was really happy to see it, of course, but clearly it was a lot more happy to see me. Despite how cold it is, it's going strong. It's a 10,000-year-old sculpted masterpiece.
A lot of people are saying, you know, you can only see the tip. There's a lot more below the water.
There's a few people that are saying it should be the new mascot for Dildo Newfoundland.
If it had ended up in dildo really, like it just would have broke the internet.
There was a couple posts showing that it seems to have collapsed, so it was going strong for probably about a week, but it looks like it's like 50 feet tall. By far, it's the biggest I've seen. It's the highlight of the season so far.
So here's the thing, when that moment originally ran, it was on one of the nights that Adrienne was anchoring. And I remember thinking to myself, I'm so glad that I'm not hosting the show that night, that I don't have to come up with some banter at the end of it. And here it is. It's on a show that I'm doing as we look back at moments of the year. And I got nothing. Thank you, though, for being with us. You can watch anytime, anywhere on the free CBC News app and subscribe to the National's YouTube channel. I'm Hanomansing from all of us here at the National. Happy New Year.